Okay, there we go. Okay. So for this, do you just want to go over like the different things that you found? Like, I just took like jot notes, just like a bunch of random jot notes of different ideas. I don't know. Is that what you did, or like what did you do for
Yeah,
it?
I just kind of like watched it and like I watched this as I was doing other things and like listened to it
Yeah.
like just the different like subcategories that it had and stuff.
That's kind of like what I did. It's kind of like had it going while I did stuff. Um, yeah, I'll just like write the paper based on whatever we have most of. I didn't find like one thing to write about, so I just took like the random um, jot notes that I found and kind of went off of that and just kind of hoping like see what we have from there.
Sounds
Um,
good.
okay, so a couple of the ones I wrote about were basically just in the order of like how they talked. So I went from um like talking about like making assumptions about people based on their looks before meeting them. Like a lot of them were like, "Oh, I didn't like somebody because of how she looked. I just thought she was stuck up or something."
Mm-hmm.
And then went off of that. I found stuff on that one. And like the one girl, she like lost her friend over it because she like felt threatened or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and there was like that story about like toilet papering someone's house.
Yeah, that was beauty in relationships too.
Yeah, those, those ones I feel like were applicable.
Yeah, so the main ones I thought of when like I was when I was watching is like the first section that we watched is like the beauty stereotypes one, and then the negative attention and
Um,
the which one was it? Oh, and then beauty and conflict.
yeah, those were like kind of the ones that I feel like had the most stuff on it.
Those are like the most like legitimate ones I think because a
Yeah,
lot of other ones are just kind of like
case by case
yeah
situation.
like yeah I'm sure it's happened before but like how often does it really happen?
Yeah, and it's like, can
Whereas
you?
like the negative attention one like you could definitely say like I like for a fact like that happens a lot like
Yeah, like I
yeah like
haven't.
if you're cute you're gonna get attention and if you
Yeah,
get attention like it's not always gonna be good.
and you
And
might not
so
want it.
mhm.
Like not everyone like gets raped or something, but like everyone, not everyone, but like a lot more people can get cat calls or something like that, or just get like that kind of negative attention. So like
Yeah.
it definitely comes along with it more. Um, I guess like an aspect of that is that it's like totally, it's like not totally, but like almost normal for that to happen. You like almost expect to see it happen around or like
Hmm.
social media or something. It's just like common when maybe it shouldn't be, but
Well, yeah, even like the beauty and conflict, like it happens all the time where like like especially like with women, like you see it like oh it's just because she's cute that she's getting that, and like other girls will get mad. It happens
yeah,
with dudes too, like oh they're just giving it to him because he's a stud, like or whatever, like because he's athletic. Like that
yeah, like,
happens a lot.
that's definitely true. It definitely goes both ways. Like they talk about women a lot in this one, but like the stories are by women, but like all of it's definitely applicable to guys as well. Like in like the jobs and stuff, like they'll probably hire a guy who's more attractive than another in a sales
Mhm.
job because they're more attractive. And like it's not really fair. But like this just kind of
Yeah,
happens.
I think like the beauty and conflict one applies to both, but like you don't really see that many guys getting like catcalled. Well, you
Yeah.
do, but like it's a lot different.
Yeah.
Like
It's
when a
not.
guy gets catcalled, like you don't really think like, oh, that sucks. Like what creeps. But
Like, yeah, you don't call girls like creepy girls like, oh, I feel like I have to run away from like these scary girls that are coming. Like, no,
yeah,
not as bad at all. Um, definitely feel like that with this thing. Um, there's like this one story about this girl. She like got married and she was like super pretty and stuff. And then her husband died or something. And then she's like, I used to get like all these different gifts because I was so pretty. And then she's like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna be alone when I'm older because I'll be ugly. and so no one's gonna want me. So I feel like that's part of it as
I
well.
feel like yeah, like a lot of those girls were putting limitations on themselves also.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
Like
they were implementing the fact that like it's because they think that they're beautiful that like all this stuff
yeah,
happens. When in reality, like there's so many other factors that could be
yeah,
involved.
definitely. I think like even that in itself like could be applicable to like this discussion because it's like they have been taught like their whole lives, oh, people are going to treat you differently because you're pretty. You're going to have to fight harder to show that you're smarter. But like maybe that's not even the case. Maybe they're like creating that own problem for themselves. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um, sorry, they're playing that Fergie song in my in the living room a lot louder than I thought they were going to.
That's okay.
Whoops. Yeah. So another thing was like a lot of the time they think that like their success is based off their beauty, and like sometimes it is, and like that could like help somebody if you want to think of like beauty as like a positive thing. Like maybe like there's like that one girl, she went to Harvard, I think, and she was like also really pretty, so she can like kind of use it to her advantage, which is kind of a strange concept that like they kind of have like like a little bit more than everyone else. um yeah, what else did I see? Oh, also there's like this like stereotype that like pretty people will be like mean sometimes, or not even just like pretty people, but like cheerleaders. They're like, oh, if you're a pretty cheerleader, you'll be a bully type thing, and like they kind
Yeah.
of go off of that without really knowing people. I remember that was like one of the stories, and she's like, I avoided those type of people, but without even really knowing how they actually were. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I feel like that was a big factor in it as well.
I think yeah, like for like every stereotype that like is here, I think there's always like a stereotype for like what's on the other side too that like these girls are like talking about.
Yeah.
Like they're like talking about like how it's like hard to be beautiful, but then they're like it's just because everyone else is ugly. So then they're like, wait, so every ugly person is just gonna like want to hate you just because you're cute?
Yeah.
Like no, like
I think it's definitely not the case at all. A lot of time people don't even care, but like they've been so focused on this one idea that they can't like look past it ever.
mhm.
It's like holding themselves back. Um, yeah. So I guess like in terms of like the question, it talks like people will treat them differently based on their beauty, yeah, but sometimes they treat themselves differently because of what they believe, like, oh, I'm pretty, so I'm gonna have to fight. It's like not the case.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. Trying to think of anything else I like really remember from it.
I'm just like looking at the list of segments and like what I thought was like interesting that they even brought up was like the beauty and weight issues one.
Hmm.
Because it's like it was like all about that girl who like was big or like was
Oh
skinny and
yeah,
then got big and then got back and then became skinny again.
yeah,
I just thought it was funny that like, she was like I felt like everyone hated me and everything, but like you could tell like all those things were just like limits that she put on herself because of
yeah.
it. Like it
Like
had nothing to do. It was like all like internal conflicts.
definitely. And then like it's not like anybody like purposely like tried to be rude or anything. Like she talked about the one story about her at that wedding, and it was
Mhm.
like she doesn't even know if it was about her. She just assumed. I mean, in the end, it made her like get back in shape and stuff, which is like good
Good
for
for
them.
her.
um, but it didn't even like really matter in the end because I guess like in the end she like felt happier about herself, but that's only because of like this idea that she had to be skinny to be pretty. Because like she's still like it wasn't like she was like an ugly, gross person. Like she was still like a pretty person, just like overweight, and there's like nothing wrong with that, but like she felt like there was. So I guess that's like part of like society or something like that.
Yeah, for
It's,
sure.
yeah, it's just weird. Um,
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of different ways to look at this issue.
yeah, I feel like Yeah, I feel like for like the paper, I can write about like how beauty makes them feel like about themselves, and like the thing that we talked about with like the two sides, like how they think about themselves and how they think others think about them, but really it's just them overthinking it kind of thing. And what else is there? I guess like that's like a main point. And then what else would you say is like a big point of the video? Um, Maybe like the personality one. Would that be another one? Do you think? Be like a big part? Like,
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can talk about like the conflicts that do. Like, I'd probably just focus it on like those beauty like those key things that we brought up, like the beauty stereotypes, the beauty conflicts,
yeah,
and like the negative attention. And if you just focus on like those three things that like these things like do happen, like these are like facts that these actually happen,
yeah,
then like I think that's kind of like going to be like the best way to go about it. I think that's where you'll find the most evidence for it.
that's true. I kind of forgot about how we talked about the beginning, like
Mhm.
how not all of it is actually applicable. Okay, I like that. So talk about like stereotypes, judging before knowing other people, conflict, and then the negative attention that people get. Okay.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Good discussion. Have fun at your thing. Super
Yeah. Thanks.
fun. It'll be so much fun.
Yep.
Um, yeah. Okay, I'll get that written and then hand that in.
Yeah. And I'll have my phone the whole time, so you can just text me or message me if you need anything.
Okay. I'll let you know if I can't think of a word or something.
Okay, sounds good. Have a good one.
You too. See ya.
Bye.